Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm back with the beautiful Karina and we decided to play with some color and create a fun look. If you want to see how I got this look, make sure to keep watching. To prep the eyes, I'm using Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and applying it evenly all over her lids to make sure we have an even coverage as the base for the eyeshadows. I'm going in a little heavier because I'm going to be using a bright color and I want the colors to really come through. With the Givenchy loose setting powder, I'm setting that base so it doesn't get patchy once the eyeshadows are applied. And you just want to make sure you go from side to corners all throughout the eye just to make sure everything is evenly applied. For her eyes, I'm using a bright palette from BH Cosmetics that I'll have linked down below, and starting off with a light shade to blend in the crease and create a little bit of dimension before we go in for the full look. With a smaller brush, I'm going into a brighter pink from the palette and emphasizing the corners of her eyes. By gradually building and continuously blending, the colors start to blend into each other more beautifully, so there aren't any harsh lines between the transitions. Using the same colors, I'm adding more depth into the corners to create a V-like shape, which is gonna give the eye overall a very beautiful look and prepare it for the cut crease that we're gonna be doing. Before applying a gel liner, I'm using a black shadow and pressing it against the lash line to make it appear a little bolder. I'm using concealer and a small brush to carve out a cut crease shape for her eye, but instead of concealer, you can also use micellar water to cut the crease, but since I'm not using a black or any darker shade that will get messy, the concealer works perfect. The most important thing is to get both eyes looking exactly the same when you're doing a cut crease look. For eyeliner, I'm using one of my favorite gel liners, which is from Inglot. It's really black and it just helps to create the perfect wing. It dries quick enough to set in place and not move, but it does allow you to blend it once it's set. I'm using a discontinued Kylie Cosmetics shimmer to set the lids. It's called Fiji. It's a beautiful highlight. I'm not sure why she discontinued it, but if I find something similar, I definitely will link it down below. Although I do love a pink look, to cut away a little bit from too much pink, I'm adding a little bit of black shadow and blending it into the corners of her eyes and that cut crease just to make everything look more cohesive and beautiful. I'm using a very light hand doing this with a very tiny brush and tapping off the excess on my hand because I don't want this to be super harsh. For moisturizer, I'm using Embryolist, which is one of my favorites because it goes for all skin types, and I'm just applying this with a brush all over her face. Next, for primer, I'm using the Tatcha, the Liquid Silk Canvas Primer, which smells so amazing, and again, applying it all over her face. To add a little bit of glow, I'm using Glowtopia and adding it to the high points of her face using my finger because that helps it to soak into the skin much better than a brush would. For foundation, I'm using Charlotte Tilbury's Flawless Filter Foundation and working it into her skin with a damp beauty blender. First, I'm covering any blemishes on her face with a tiny brush, and then with a damp beauty blender, I'm helping to blend it all evenly out onto her skin. With Charlotte Tilbury's Radiant Concealer, which I'm actually starting to really love, I'm concealing and brightening the under eye area using a brush, then blending it out with the same beauty blender. For a cream contour, the Charlotte Tilbury has quickly become one of my favorites. When I purchased this, I initially thought it was powder, but it's actually cream, and it really reminds me of the Chanel one that I'm obsessed with. I'm using it to bring some dimension to her face and again blending it all out. I'm going for a very glowy look, so with the Givenchy setting powder, I'm only setting the T-zone area to take away any extra shine. Next, I'm using Westman Atelier blush stick in the color Petal, which is a cream blush, and applying that above the contour, and it's such a beautiful pink shade. With Touch in Soul's Radiance Stick, which is a new product to me, but I'm already loving it, I'm using my fingers to bring a natural, pretty much from within type of glow to Karina's face. This product is light, not sticky, and so pretty. Since that cream blush has already dried down, I'm adding a bit of powder blush from Gucci in the shade Silky Rose for more of a pop. It just adds a beautiful dimension of pink and just takes everything to the next level. I'm taking that initial brush I was using just to make sure again that there are no harsh lines and that everything is blended once and for all before I move on. For her lips, I'm using Charlotte Tilbury's Super Size Me lip liner and blending that in with a brush before I go in with gloss. I love this lip liner because it's this beautiful pinky mauve shade. I'm using Formless Beauty gloss in the shade Love for that beautiful final touch glow. And although I don't want to do too much to the brows, there are some gaps that I'm filling in with Anastasia's brow palette, but overall I do love the laminated look on Karina. Here is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed. We had so much fun creating it. If there's any specific looks you guys want me and Karina to create, please leave comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more future videos. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.